Clubhouse. Today, we are reading a story that is called... Can I do the intro this time? Sure, no problem. We are reading a story that is called The Best Nest. And this story is about Mrs. Bird and Mr. Bird not liking their old house. And they want to find a new house. Now let's see what house they're going to find and if they like it or not. The Best Nest. Mr. Bird was happy. He was so happy he had to sing. This was Mr. Bird's song. I love my house, I love my nest, and all the world. My nest is best. I think that's the rhythm, right? Then Mrs. Bird came out of the house. It's not the best nest, she said. I'm tired of this old place, said Mrs. Bird. I hate it. Let's look for a new place right now. So they left the old place to look for a new one. This place looks nice, said Mr. Bird. Let's move in here. Let's see. But somebody else had already moved in. Oh, come on. So they looked at another house. This one looks nice, said Mr. Bird, and there's nobody in it. Let's see. That looks like a shoe to me. You're wrong, said Mrs. Bird. This house belongs to a foot. Well, of course, because it's a shoe. Come on. So they went on looking. Will they find one? I like this one, said Mr. Bird. It has a pretty red flag on the roof. I've always wanted a house with a flag, said Mrs. Bird. Maybe this place will be all right. All right, let's see. That looks like a mailbox to me that belongs to a U.S. mail. And I see the mailman coming to deliver it. But it was not all right. I guess I made a mistake, said Mr. Bird. Will they find another house? You make too many mistakes, said Mrs. Bird. I'm going to pick the next house. And here it is, right here. It looks like a bell house to me. Now let's see. They flew in. They looked around. Isn't it too big? Asked Mr. Bird. I like this big place, said Mrs. Bird. This is the place to build our new nest. Let's see. They went right to work. They needed many things to build their nest. First, they got some hay. What else? They got some soda straws and broom straws. They got some sweater string. Seriously. They got stocking string and mattress stuffing. Oh, look, that guy is reading the news. They got some horsehair. They got some man hair. They're pulling out of his beard and his hair. Soon they had all the hay, all the straw, the string, all the stuffing, and the horsehair, and all the man hair they could carry. They took it all back to build their nest. Mr. and Mrs. Bird worked very hard. It took them the rest of the morning to finish their nest. This nest is really the best, said Mrs. Bird. I want to stay here forever. Will they? Mr. Bird was very happy too. He flew to the top of his house. He sang his song again. I love our house. I love our nest. In all the world, our nest is best. It's another rhythm, I think, is from my opinion. He was so busy singing, he didn't even see Mr. Parker coming. Who's Mr. Parker? Every day at 12 o'clock, Mr. Parker came to the church. Mr. Parker came to pull a rope. What rope? The rope. The rope went up to the bird's new nest. Uh-oh. The rope rang the big bell right under Mrs. Bird's nest. Bong, bong, bong. Oops. Mrs. Bird got out of there as fast as she could fly. Bong, 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 bong. Oh, the bells ringing and destroyed their house. When Mrs. Bird came in, all he could see was a mess of hay and string and stuffing and horsehair and manhair and straws. Where was Mrs. Bird? Let's find out where she has gone. I will look for her until I find her, said Mr. Bird. He looked high, he looked low, he looked everywhere for Mrs. Bird. I should. He looked down into a chimney, but Mrs. Bird wasn't there. He looked down into a water barrel, but Mrs. Bird wasn't there. Where else could Mrs. Bird be? Let's read and find out. Then he saw a big fat cat. There was a big fat smile on the fat cat's face. There were some pretty brown feathers near the fat cat's mouth. Mr. Bird began to cry. Why? Oh dear, he cried. This big fat cat has eaten Mrs. Bird. Oh no. Do you think that's true? All right, let's figure it out. Mr. Bird flew off. I'll never see Mrs. Bird again, he cried. He's still crying. It was getting dark. It began to rain. It rained harder and harder. Mr. Bird could not see where he was going. Crash! Mr. Bird bumped into something. What do you think it is? Well, let's read and find out. It was his old house. That old house that Mrs. Bird hated. I'll go inside, said Mr. Bird. I'll rest here until the rain stops. Okay. Mr. Bird went in. And there was Mrs. Bird sitting there singing. What is she singing? I love my house, I love my nest. In all the world, my nest is best. That's exactly the song that Mr. Bird used to sing. You? Here, gasped Mr. Bird. I thought you hated this old nest. Mr. Bird smiled. I used to hate it, she said. But a mother bird can change her mind. You see, there's no nest like an old nest for a brand new bird. Oh, look at that cute little, this blue egg in the middle. And when the egg popped, the new bird thought so too. Look, it's so cute. The end. Oh, that was awesome. Have you ever seen a bird's nest or a bird making his nest? I haven't, but I'm pretty sure I will see one. But you can make sure to